Welcome. Hey, hello, welcome. How are we doing? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy holiday. Say hello to you. Say hello to you. Merry Christmas to you too, sweetheart. How are we doing? Do you guys have great Christmas? I have a nice Christmas. I actually was at my daughter's house and they make prime ribs and fettuccinis, a lot of a lot of Filipino a lot of Filipino dessert. So I'm glad that they didn't cook like overwhelmingly like they did last time. It was like 4, 5, 6 courses. It was a lot of food. So this time it's only the major was the prime ribs and the rest was just side dish. It was pretty good. Christmas is good for you, huh? Well, congratulations. We're happy for you. Sometimes Christmas is this is what I learned about Christmas. Let me move a little bit closer so I can read you guys your guys' name. I'm nearsighted. So near and far. So I have two pair of glasses that I don't use as much because I wanted to lean off. So I've not been using glasses for a good 7 years. I need it for reading, and you want to join us, guest? You want me to bring you in as guest? Let me see if I can do that. I can send you an invite. You can send as invite. I'll bring you on because I'm not cooking today. I'm free of cooking today. I take a day off, which is nice. Okay, it's nice to not have to work all the time, but I have something that I like to share with you, okay? Because I thought that I was gonna take it to the party, but then my daughter said, "No, mom, today you don't have to bring anything. Just bring yourself and your mom," which is her grandma. So then I have this sweet that I make that I just wanted to bring so that way we have somebody to eat it. So now that I can't bring it to the party, so I have this sweet that I don't know what to do with it, and I cannot eat it all by myself. It's a holiday, and people said that, oh, this is a time where I gain a pound just looking at food, which is exaggerating. Hello to you too. Oh, wonderful people. Let me see. Let me see how I read your guys' name. Tina, hello. How are you, beautiful girl? And Tricks Boy, Trip Boy. You got amazing even on your name. I still need to go back to kindergarten to read all your guy name. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Who else? Elaine, hello. Still around. And then who they have? Savage. Savvy. Okay. I'm still amazed with all your guys' wonderful names. Pocolina. Sorry. Let me do it again. My apology. Let me see. Pocola from Oakland. Oh, bye. Sabidi. I know. I'm sorry. I'm so bad with name. It was a little bit Julie and um, Juliet and Elizabeth and Pauline. That I can handle. But you guys came up with all these fancy names. I'm like, okay, I need to go back to kindergarten to do that, to do all the name. Okay, welcome. Just uh, you're laughing at me. I agree with you. My apology. Um, I promise I'll get better with name. So mine is very simple. Van in, uh, the IWN. So there's a lot of funny thing happened with my last name, right? With the IWN. That was the name of my grandfather, the father of my father. In our cultures, the children supposed to take their father last name or the father first name as the last name. So, so my great grandfather, no, my grandfather first name was In, and my dad had taken his father last name, his father first name as his last name is In. So in the process of coming to America, the the immigration, well, no, what do you call them? You call the I'm not sure who interviewers or who do the other paper. It must be the it must be the embassy of each country, because not just U.S. who brought us here. So there's different entity from different country. So because they have such a bad language barrier, like I do, calling your name, so they switches my father name also. So I end up with my dad end up with his last name, some it's not even a name. And because it's so difficult to prove anything, because we don't have document to back up to where the last name came from. So my dad ended up with some weird last name by Sickling. I don't know what Sickling mean. I mean, I know what sick is, but ling, like, So then my dad last name is Sickling, and all the children carry grandfather last name, which is kind of nice because it's very short, INN, for Inn, for Holiday Inn. So there was a funny incident where I was attending, I was flew to attend a conference in the day before COVID happened. If we to attend a conference or any sort of function, we will fly and we will have to attend the seminar, the meeting or the conference in person. Okay, they charge you for the participation, for the lunch, for whatever it is, and then the company or the agency will pay for the lodging and the traveling costs. So they have budgets set for that. As a nonprofit organization, they have certain budgets set for traveling, set for meetings, set for operation costs and all that, for the mileages and all. So I was able to like attend a lot of functions, not function, attend a lot of conference, seminars that in regard to the work that we do in the community. So in that uh, particular conference, it was held at the Holiday Inn, right? The IWN. So I was checking in at the front desk. So this young lady looked at me and said, "Welcome, Miss In. We didn't expect you here." I'm like, yeah, I have to do some explaining to the young lady. "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was like Miss Holiday Inn." So, believe me, there's like millions of Smiths. So expect every Smith to come in here that own this hotel. It's only a few in this country, okay, with exception. So that was funny, right? And then there's one time um, I was working with this nonprofit organization as my second job. Um, my third job actually. I I was I work in a with the community organizations that I do a lot of work for the community as a liaison worker or outreach specialist. So my job is to act as interpreter, um, to connect the community together and help facilitate with the language, with the transportations and what have you. So I assigned to work at certain school that had high rate of truancy kids, the Cambodian, the Vietnamese, the Hmong, the Mien, the Laotian students. So I got my agencies sent me to that particular, not particular, different school in Stockton Unified School District. So I always be working out in the field until the school is out. I'm not employed by the school, but my job is to work connectly with the school. So then one day, I was still out, and somebody called me from the school and was talking to my receptionist, my secretary, Karen Hernandez, and I have to search for her. So she called in, hello, this is CPPA or CPA, maybe, may I help you? So yes, is Vanna in? So my reception said, no, Vanna is out. And so they went back and forth a few times. So finally, the, no, Vanna in, I-N-N, Vanna in, I-N-N. So my secretary seems to say, I know, but she is not in, she is out. O-U-T, out. Back and forth, back and forth. So finally, the caller said, oh, you mean Vanna in is out? So Karen, yes, Vanna in is out. Shall I take message for her? You know, those days when the phone call come in, there's a phone call message in like a long book, and each time we get a call, the secretary would get it's just like a rain check. So the secretary would, I don't know, anybody remember that? Give me a shout if you remember. So um, Felix out, Felix Sword, nice name. I hope I say it right. I know I did terribly the other one. Visiting. Oh, the visitor book. Okay, good. Thank you. So they will write name of caller, time caller, date of the caller, and the message, what have you, and the phone number. And so that's what I get a whole bunch each day. So finally, she got the message that Vanna is actually out. O O U T instead of IN. So when I came back to the office, my secretary looked at me like, Vanna, you wouldn't believe. I said, what? Asian persuasion. Okay. Okay, I'm not making fun of anybody, but I'll share some of the name that will like, really like, I'm gonna make you laugh and roll on the floor would be okay. Forgive me for those who I'm gonna mention the name tonight. Okay, I hope that they come across to this channel where I'm talking about them and that they will reconnect with me. But some of those people, since we left high school, they're all like, it's I don't even know where they've been to or gone, right? So you think my last name is short, simple, yet complicated, right? Because American cannot interpret it. Only recognized by Holiday Inn, INN, And then with my name, if I introduce myself or they introduce myself, say, hello, this is Judith, and what's your name? I said, my name is Vanna Inn. So, oh, Vanna as Vanna White. Okay. So if those who had grown up in the time where Jack Sajak and Vanna White, they do the spinning, they do the Wheel of Fortune. Hold on, it's not Wheel of Fortune. It's called Is it? No, it's not Wheel of Fortune. Where Vanna White have to like guess. No, it's not guessing game. It was word puzzle or something like that. So people have to guess the letters, and Vanna would like if they guess the letter right, and Vanna would like she would she would poke it and and the letter would display and would spell the word. I can't remember. It's not Wheel of Fortune. Is it? No, it's not. It's anyway one of those night games. Okay, so the participant would have to uh, guess the letters, and if they guess it right, and solving the puzzle, and then if they solve the puzzle, and then they win the game, right? So that's how they remember my name. If I introduce myself, and they would remember me by Vanna White. I said, "Ooh, I need some fancy robes and some letter board so I can like." Pat would give me a letter A, letter B, letter C, whatever. I can't remember the name of the game. If anybody remember the game, let me know. Wheel of Fortune? Is it? Was it Wheel of Fortune? Yes. Cambodian has short last name, okay? Sok, San, Sim, Seung, uh, was it Sims, Yim, Yan, Yon, Yen, Chan, Chong, Chi, Chin. So okay, so it's short. But then in the contrary of Bite Might will tell me what okay, tell me. So so the people who had long last name are the people from Laos, okay? Their last name is about that long. Okay? So it can be Saya Bopa, Mani Rat, Muni Gel Pisak, or Pomajan or Pomajali, or I mean, it had a double syllable. Uh, the name start with double syllables plus the vowel, double syllable plus the vowel, double syllable plus the vowels. So by the end of it, it's like Gail Pitmoney. You had a lot of ph, and then American cannot omit the t with the sticking tongue out. So they could not pronounce the word um, the the double consonant of the PB or PB or BP. So just like telephone, right? So it's PH, the sound of F, but then in the Asian language is even as a double consonant, it still sound on the first letter word, just like Ponsavan, meaning the blessing of heaven, right? So it's spelled Phone, and then Americans say Phone Savan, and then he'll be sitting there, waiting for a name call, and the name call never come because the teacher can't spell the last name or the first name, so we're sitting there. Like, roll call after roll call, or because they can't spell our name right, so we never respond. So we're just sitting there. My name is easy. Vanna in. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. And for those who have like double consonant, double vowels, you cannot spell it. La 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 la, la, stumble just like I do with your name. Very funny. Yeah, Lao's very long last name. Bite. I don't know what your last name is. Yes. We like Pieng, we like Pieng, we like Pon Tana, Pon Savan, Pon Tip, Pon Gel, Pon Pung, and Thai too. Thai had a very very long last name with the double spelling, the double triple digit of the consonant too. I mean, start with the double consonant, middle with the double consonant, and end with double consonant. Okay, and yeah, and it's beautiful though if you know how to spell it, you know how to pronounce it. Okay, and you don't. For us, their last name was like you stumble upon pronouncing it. It's very like I'm drunk. I can't say it be like Ping. Pontana, is that what you name it? We like Pieng? We like Pieng Pontana. That's a beautiful name. We like Pieng. I never heard of that one before. I work with people with the last name Pomachali, and Siphon, and um, Gail Mani Sak, a whole bunch. Because I work a lot in the Lao community, and then when they last name come out, so American used to ask me, Wana, with all the languages spoken, how do you distinguish these people from one another? I said, well, first of all, I it take one to know one, right? Just like you wouldn't be able to tell a Frenchman from an Italian, or from a German, or from British, unless you hear the accent, right? British had a unique accent, and then French had a heavy accent, was speaking with the tonsil. So same thing for me, because we are so used to hearing the tonation. Okay, so right away, because Laotian had their own unique accent. I have unique accent in the Khmer accent, and the Laotian, they had their own unique way of have that Laotian uh, accent, and the Vietnamese have their own accent too. I can't imitate them, but minute they open their mouth, I can tell that where they're coming from through their tonation or through their accent, because Thai accent and Lao accent, they like talk like with that up peak, low peak, high peak, low peak, that. So uh, only the only population that speak fluent English basically are the children who born in the country, especially the kids who are born in America, learning the American accent. The British accents are totally different. I mean, I love English black accent. Actually, I know quite a few. Just like what will be water, you know. I I do that all the time, and sometimes people said, "Are you from England?" I said, "No, I just want to be one." It's really, yeah. Yes, there are population of Cambodian minority group. Now, I'm not saying minority group. People who live along the border, they call Lao Lua, Lao Nyo, where they speak Laotian accent. I have a few friends from the refugee camp that do speak the accent I just mentioned. Basically, they do speak Laos. They're not Lao Vientiane. This like Lao Nyo, Lao Nyo. So I believe is that this population migrated from Laos long time ago, and they just not returning home like my family did. My family migrated from Thailand, and they just didn't return home until the Khmer Rouge taken over, and then everybody like returning home, or before they were killed, or if they weren't cut cut dead, so they go home. Mister, I chicken your rice. um, I chicken your rice. If you try to speak English, you would say, I love rice and chicken, or I will love chicken with rice. Yeah, but it's pretty good though if you do use Google Translation. If you write in your own language, it can reverse the meaning, because English and the non-English language. Uh, I was saying another day that Google Translation is not a very reliable. It may be 50% for something basic, okay, but something complicated, such as court document, such a health, such as school record and stuff like that. If there's a school record on child IEP, or thing of that nature, it won't translate well. Okay, if you do, if you do sentence by sentence, and then yes, it will translate for you. But most of the time, the complicated context, Google won't be able to do it. Okay, so the language that are not so recognizable in Google translation will be the Laotians. Okay, because I speak them, and then Thai, it's doing okay because Thai is is more recognizable in the main in the main among the language, or maybe the language was recognizable throughout the world. um I didn't try Vietnamese because I can't read Vietnamese that many words, but Laotian, all the language, Laotian was the most complicated that the Google translation hasn't figured it out, because sometimes I'm tired of writing, so I want to do Google translations, and I type I type English and have it translate in Thai. It does not translate very well. It does not. It's terrible. It's not reliable. But Cambodian is starting to do a little bit better. A few years ago, Google Translation did not recognize Cambodian neither, so it was pretty bad. But if you do like one-to-one words, it'll translate for you, because Cambodian had double meaning, triple meaning in one word. So sometimes Google does not understand the difference. So that's what I learned about Google Translation. It's great. I use it all the time for my cooking. Sometimes I have to do a lot of writing. So if I do Google Translation and then I just correct it, I have to make the correction to make it make sense. Because if we do writing, because Cambodian language is so complex, so the writing, the 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 speaking and writings are two different level. I mean, speaking is a lot easier than writing, because writing is have to do in a formal writing. Okay, we write letters, or any type of business letters, and American too. You know, American, when they do business letters, then it have to be sophisticated. It have to be fluently or eloquently, and using a lot of not American, a lot of English word. So the English word would be like some of those long words, just like in Lao's name too, you know, just like sophistication, complementary, inventory, corporation, humanitarian. So, you know, some of those complexity. So, yeah, discombobulation, psychological, you know, and all those fancy words, obnoxious, and uh, same thing for Cambodian. Cambodian writing system is a lot more complex than speaking systems. Speaking, and that's what we learn in the language, is to be able to dialogue first, and then later we adaptation with learning the written, writing and reading, become literate. Okay. So that's why I was saying that, you know, all of us have accent. I do have accent. I was saying the other day that I still remember this lady. Yes, a lot of friends, a lot of Cambodian do speak Laos, and a lot of them speak Thai too, because this is what I learned. Okay, because in the history, it does indicate is that Laos and Thai language are rooted from the Sanskrit, from Khmer text. So therefore, if a Khmer person, for example, I'm a Khmer born, but I was able to learn Thai quick. I was able to learn Laos is quick also, because once I speak, once I learned to be literate, meaning able to read and write in Thai, I was quickly to learn Laos also. You know, well, some people do fake accent. You know, it's fine. Just like the comedian will do all kind of fake accent, or do all kind of president uh, imitate some of the president actions and 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 in verbal so funny. A lot of comedian was able to assimilate some of the silliest accent. Would do Obama, would do Trump, would do uh, President Biden, former President Biden. So the comedian make a living out of imitating somebody. They have that uh, ability to imitate and create accent and make a living out of it. So which is nice. I mean, it's fine. I mean, accent is not fake. No, I'll tell you why. Because I thought that I speak without an accent until somebody be telling me that you have an accent. I know. Yeah, you probably say you don't care, Caprello, but then because you don't deal with people who speak another language, rather, I mean, speak another language rather English, then you will face the same discrimination. Okay, for me, I faced my own people discrimination because they were saying that um, I have heavy Cambodian accent. So they asked me, "Are you Lao? Are you Thai? Are you this? Are you that? Are you Filipino?" Just yesterday, no, on Sunday I was at church. So this Filipino couple came in visit from Utah. So they just attend church in the morning wherever they go, wherever the branch is available. So after the congregation meeting, I turned around. I saw this nice couple, and they started speaking Tagalog to me. And I said, "Oh, excuse me, sir. No, I don't speak Tagalog." So he said, "What are you?" I said, "I am Cambodian, sir." Cambodian. Where is Cambodian? Sir? Oh, you don't know where Cambodia is? You didn't turn on social media and hear where Cambodian where we are being crashed with Thailand. So I said, so Philippine is like way below somewhere, in the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, beneath Cambodia, beneath Laos, beneath Malaysia. Okay, somewhere there. You in the island, we on the mainland. So Cambodia is a small country, look almost like a pair of shoes, rather. I don't know. It's small, and it's bordered by Atlantic Ocean, Thailand to one side, Laos to one side, and Vietnam to one side, and then and in the ocean. So yeah, Cambodia side. Oh, you mean Cambodia by Vietnam? I said exactly, Cambodia by Vietnam. Now you got it. So no Tagalog. So so I got to make new friends. Believe it or not. Um, I'm not exactly from Los Angeles, Caprello. When I first settled in America in 1980, we settled in Stockton, California. It's a small agriculture community, and the rest of the world views Stockton, California as a danger zone. All the gang infested. So I live in that community for about 40 years, and I come out fine. Um, I'm a little feisty because uh, I have to walk through the gang infested neighborhood, but I never got hurt and I never gotten beaten. I never got robbed. I never gotten to be like maltreated by any gang members. No, some of those gang members that I worked with in the days through court referrals now grandpa. So am I. So I can walk the street. I can go into the community and I never have to worry about anybody attacking me. Yeah. So the kind of work I do, it's it's the work that people will need for my implementation, because my job is to help facilitate, to help gap the bridge, to help bring the resource and deliver the resource and deliver the services. So people appreciate that. Even the gang members in Stockton, they um, I can walk through the neighborhood, the turf where certain gang members cannot leave the turf. If they move from one block to the next block, they'll be dead, include the family too. So when they get evicted, so we have to find the places within that corner so that way they can, so that way the family will be safe. So I walk the neighbor, I walk the park where gang infested. Um, it's funny because in 2020 we took a job with the census. Okay, census gave us some grant to help reach out to, they call it, reach out to the hard to count population. Okay, the hard to count population are the people who refuse to do the census report. So they consider those are the community that don't like to report because they were afraid that the government would turn up on them and arrest them and take them, re- imported them, right? Exported them. Oh no, I'm sorry, imported for product. Will 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 get deported. So so a lot of Asian people are not doing it. First of all, they don't understand what census is all about. No one ever tell them. Oh, you on that Mookie. You're right. Yeah, so it go back to the time where before I was born. Okay, there was some tough situation going on, the dispute going on between Vietnam and Cambodia. Uh, in a result of Cambodia um, gave up part of Cambodia land to Vietnam. So this particular group called Kabocha Cheese. So in the definition, Cambodia, we consider ourselves the Khmer, the Dal, and then the Khmerlers are another subgroup, another group of Cambodian, and then the Khmer Sarin are those who who were trapped and not trapped, who the land was given to certain country. Okay, example in Thailand. So the Khmer Sarin do speak, they interlot the two languages, so they mix the Thai and the Cambodian. So sometimes it's so beautiful to hear them because you hear both languages speaking. So if if a Cambodian person does not speak Thai, will not understand the whole conversation. You have to be able to understand both language in order to understand the Khmer Sarin people. So because they intermingle the language, the two languages together. It's very unique how they do that. And the Khmer Krom people are the people that live under the rule of Vietnamese. So there's certain right, a certain ritual, a certain rites of passage that they allow the Khmer Krom to live by. They are allowed to practice their religions. Before they were persecuted for practicing Buddhism, or they got persecuted and killed and tortured by keeping the language, by practicing the culture. Now the Khmer Krom people have more voice because they reach out to the communities at large to help them fight for their right, fight for their safety, because they from beginning of the time where this particular group, I don't have enough education on it, but I'm not going to quote everything on it, but I'm just going to share based on experience, because I was married to the Khmer Krom person, the father of my kids. Been with him for 13 years, and unfortunately he keep loving someone else, so I just let him go, let him love someone else, and I move on. So if you hear this, yes, you love somebody else, so good for you. Just happy for you. So so what happened to Khmer Krom people is that they fight all their life. I know in the time, I can't remember what year exactly it was, you, you got to understand the history. You have to learn the history, why Khmer Krom suffered so much, because Khmer Krom just want to be liberated. Khmer Krom just want to be treated with humanitarian, you know, because they were forced to abdicate their language, their religion, their culture, and the Khmer Krom people come together and said, no, we will live we want autonomy. We want our own government. We want our own freedom. We don't want Vietnamese to persecute us. You can govern us, but no persecution. Not force the Khmer Krom to relinquish their language, to relinquish their um, inheritance or heritage, or to relinquish their language. So these people fought all their life. So when I visit his family before the year 2000, I learned a few things from the Khmer Krom people. They are a very resilient group of people. I noticed that they have more Buddhist temple than in Cambodia itself. And the kid, although the kid speak with the Vietnamese accent, because they Khmer Krom with Vietnamese accent, so it was like difficult to understand them. Also, you got to learn. You have to be around them a whole lot to be able to understand the Khmer Krom accent, because they have their own accent too. So um, it's I don't know, if you don't think that people have accent, I have to disagree with you on that. Okay, Capella, um, Capello, because our accent is just like part of our personality trait. Because for example, if I hear people from Texas, they speak with their own Texan accent. If you hear people from Louisiana, you will hear the accent. If you hear people from New York, Buffalo, they speak differently. And then if you hear people from California, I speak Californian accent, so realize I'm not, so the most heavy accent that very very different probably from Texas and Louisiana. Okay, Louisiana mainly French colonized, so French colonies, so they still keep very tradition. They're very traditional, so they adhere to their culture, their language, so they have heavy accents, so it's normal. The reason I said that because I visit Louisiana for a few weeks on one of the capacity building conference after the massive flood in Louisiana. I don't know any you remember when one of the huge uh, storm and huge storm and hit Louisiana, and Louisiana was damaged from the flood down from the first up to the something floor. So this was a massive, it was massive flood and a lot of damages and structural damage and infrastructure damage and a lot of life lost during that time. So after the flood, years later, the community come together and include the high stakeholders and the community holders, the government sectors and all that. They come together and to strategize how to rebuild Louisiana. So it's called a capacity building conference. Okay, I don't know. It's just like a 4 or 5 days conference, and so I just remember it's called capacity building. So and still now, Vietnamese don't like Cambodia. I personally, oh you why? Because you came when you're only 8 months old, so you have issues speaking to your mom because you didn't speak Laos enough for your mom to understand. You speaking English too much, so you've forgotten to speak your own native language so your mom can understand you. So she be calling you out. Well, my mom came when she's in her 30s, so she speaks some English, not too bad. Is able to communicate with great grandchildren or grandchildren. Most of her grandchildren speak Cambodian, so she's happy with that. But grandchildren, they will shake their head. They don't understand. They don't want to learn. Oh, Dorman, would you cook with glove with me? I'm not sure what you mean about that. So I don't really like the tone of it. Okay. So if you're trolling me, somebody gonna block you. Okay, so I don't understand what you're trying to say there. Okay, so let's just cut it out. I used to watch Thai movie too. Now um you get hooked on too much. It's a waste of time. So um I just noticed that. Okay, no offense. Uh, Thai soap. It repeated the same drama. Okay, so like Ban Sai Tong, it recreated like 10 times. Each time when they had new actor, actress, they have to play Ban Sai Tong. And then what else? Cham Lơi Lak, the same thing. They replay the same drama over and over again. So now I understand why Thai people are so dramatic, because just like in the drama, they play the same drama over and over and over again. Ban Sai Tong, how many times? Cham Lơi Lak, how many times? And if I were to say any other movie, okay, Ban Run Pair, I used to watch them too, because I enjoyed it. Now I don't enjoy it anymore. When I see people doing crazy stuff to Cambodia, I don't even speak the language anymore. I'm just like I'm just take it easy, take a vacation. Yeah. So that's how upset I was. A thing that happened. Uh, Thai and Lao cultures, we have the same similarity. But then some country claim that it's there from the start, even it's not from the start. Even they borrow, even they taken without asking. It's called stealing, or they call copycat. They call plague. No, they call plagiarism or something like that. Okay, that was a big word this guy used. I can't remember, but people do stuff like that. Okay, so people from Svayring, which is like, I think I can't remember where the geographic, where the sunrise on in that region is. So on the Cambodian and the Vietnamese border, there's a small town called Svayring. So majority of people who live in Svayring are the Khmer Krom, or the Cambodian who speak Vietnamese. So they heavily influenced with the Chinese cultures, with the food, with the language, with the traditions. So it's different there. Okay. Versus people who live along the Thai border, then they influenced by Thai language, by Thai culture, by Thai food and traditions. And of course, people who live along the Mekong and share the commonality with catching fish and and things of that nature. So then people who live on the Mekong, I think Mekong River, I think I share about those people who live on the boat. So this is what I learned. Yeah, Stockton, California is my hometown. Woo, woo. Oh, yeah, it was bad. So, but I was fine living there for 40 something years. Okay, I moved away for about 10 years to live in Fresno, California. So there's where a majority of the Laos population and the Hmong population, I work with them. But this is how crazy my brain works, okay? So remember, I learned 4 languages: English, Cambodian, Lao, Thai. So 4 fluently, writing, speaking, okay? So it's fluently. I'm an interpreter, I have to be fluent. So I worked 4 years in the Hmong community. Believe it or not, I did not speak more than two words in Laos. I mean 2 words in Hmong, like Chichi do, no, mua chế không, mua chế, I don't have money. Chichi do, go home. That's it. I think that's only 2 words, because I hear people saying all the time, Chichi do, mua chế no. So for some reason, my brain does not even like open up to the Hmong languages, and I know Hmong language use borrow some of the Laos words, only not much, okay, but a lot of Chinese. I think. Hello NXS World. Wow, is that the name of the new games? Sorry. Greeting to the battle zone. boy, are you where are you better zone at? In Arizona? Oh, yeah, Stockton. Oh, Lao community. Um, I I don't work for Lao community, but I work in the in what you call it, in the what's the word, um we work together in a lot of project with Peng Lo. Peng Lo was he was the Hmong descent who speak both languages. You know, he speak English, Laotians, and Hmong. I don't know if he speak Vietnamese, but the sad thing about Peng Lo is that he was murdered in cold blood, and I can't remember what year that was. I think it was like 2000, 2000, 2008 or 2009 there. Someone came into the office and just shot him cold-blooded. Peng Lo, he was a great man. He was a great leader. He ran the Lao family. Khmer Sarin, I just mentioned earlier that they mixed the Cambodian and the Lao together. You have to be able to understand the Cambodian and the and Thai in order to understand Khmer Sarin. I told you we have accent. I know because I speak Lao too. Okay, so I noticed that people from Vientiane, they speak a little different than people from the East Coast and Southern. Okay, so they all have a little accent, not too much. Like they use the word "jiao," you know, "ipo ime" and stuff like that. You know, I mean, the accent a little bit here and there. Even people from Cambodia, for example. I was born in Battambang, so I have Battambang accent. The Battambang speak the accent of the literature language, meaning that they speak as is written. Okay, versus people who in Phnom Penh, so they literally change the letter L to letter H. It's just like in Thai, um, the word school, rong rian. Okay, in Laotian is Hong Hien. So change the letter L to letter R to letter H. Same thing for people in Phnom Penh. They literally change the letters, okay, and then still meaning the same. And like tàu hiến or tàu riêng. So it's so oh, when when a Phnom Penh accent come out, or when they speak Phnom Penh accent, or Srakel, no Srakel, Serene had their own accent. I definitely think that Donoy and Sok Donoy, they have their own accent, and Siem Reap have their own accent. So I mean, if we come from 30 region, then you speak 30 dialect. Okay, so for example, my ancestor from the Conrad Sima, we speak Korat. So, and then the Korat is a different accent. The Chiang Mai had their own accent. And then you have people from Isan, which speaking the Lao tonation, the Lao accent. And then you have people who from the east, the west, they all have their own different accents. So especially people who from Chiang Mai, they have their own beautiful language. I can't even understand Chiang Mai, that much. And only a few words that I can understand. People who speak Chiang Mai. It's beautiful, I mean, so tonations, uh, accent in languages occur in every country, in every society, in every region, not just in America. Have 50 states. Imagine that we come together and speak different 50 dialect. We'll be like, huh? Because Cambodia is the same way. Uh, if I remember the accent that I have to deal with, people from Phnom Penh, from Battambang, from Danoi, from Siem Reap, they have their own accent. So, but overall, I'll be able to understand them. There's certain minority group that have their own language, then there we don't understand them. Okay, but if just an accent, then we understand them. If they speak another minority language, that's not an accent. Okay, it's a separate language. Well, Stockton, let me tell you what happened in Stockton. Okay, you from Georgia? Georgia is beautiful. It's growing. So let me tell you a story, the saddest story that happened in Stockton. Okay, so listen to this. I walk the community that it's infested with violence and gang infestation, and the poverty level is like the highest in. It's not in the country, but it's very high. Okay, the poverty level is so high. The unemployment is always high too. So a lot of homelessness. So there's a canal, is a dry canal. It's called Mormon Slough. Okay, so Mormon Slough is nothing but rubbles and overgrown grass and overgrown canal that does not flow anymore. So because the water does not flow, then the homelessness people would move in and build their own community along the Mormon Slough. Okay. So and then Caravera River, the one that run through Stockton also, that run near Pacific, the University of Pacific, that took a lot of life because sometimes it has flash flood, and the Asian kids were playing in the river and got drowned, and I think 5 of them were killed. 5 Cambodian kids died during one of the flash flood in Stockton. So about 4 years ago, okay, in 2021. Remember the last name INN? Okay, so INN is also belong to a late officer named Officer Jimmy Inn. Where did you hear about the Cambodian police officer that got shot and killed in Stockton, California, a few years ago? Oh yeah, Bangkok. That I speak. Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas. You were in Las Vegas? Yeah, you told me. Bye. Yeah. So what happened in 2021? Just a few months before. No, he was killed in what month was it? In June or in July? I can't remember the month. So Officer Jimmy Inn, he was in the law enforcement with Stockton Police Department for 7 years. He graduated from the police academy and met his wife, and they married. So both of them serve in the same law enforcement. But his wife started working as a Stockton police school police. So she patrolled school. So the both of them graduated from police academy, from Delta College, San Joaquin County Delta College. Okay, so Jimmy was excited, and he graduated his cadet, so he joined the police force. 7 years later, years later, both of them got married and they had a child. Okay, so one unfortunate morning. So Jimmy, let me tell you a little bit about late Officer Jimmy Inn. Okay. So Jimmy was loved by many. I love Jimmy because he and I'm his auntie. He belonged to my older brother. So Jimmy Inn is close to me because every time Jimmy got in trouble with his dad, I always be his rescuer. He'd be calling me, or his dad be calling me. I said, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to help teach his son, I need to discipline his son. But my brother is very stern, he's very strict, he's very difficult. he's like 5-star general. My brother operated that way. So Jimmy, he was like loving, kind, and he's a pretty smart guy, but then sometimes he just didn't want to work hard, especially during his high school year. He got in trouble with his dad a whole lot, and there's time where his dad and I, we just like fight on Jimmy's behalf because my brother was trying to keep things in control with Jimmy. Jimmy was not a bad boy, just that Jimmy just wanted to be lackadaisy. He didn't want to turn in his assignments, and he missing assignments, and then his dad have to be called, and he behind in his work, and he wasn't going to graduate on time. So that we had the big discussion. So when Jimmy graduated from high school, he was working. I think he was working at the FedEx for many years, and his dad said, Jimmy, you don't have a future. You have to have a future. You have to go to school, to go to college, and become somebody. So finally, Jimmy went to attend academy school for a couple of years, I think 2 years at least, academy school. And I can't remember the program, if it's 6 months, 8 months, or 2 years, I can't remember. But he graduated from academy school and was accepted as accepted at San King, at Stockton Police Department. So he was happy. He was a proud law enforcement member. Jimmy was a handsome, tall young man. When he smiled, his eyes all shut, and because his grandmother on the mom's side, she's Chinese descent. So am I, but might skip a few generations down until get to me about 4 generations to get to me. So my eye does not get as bad as Jimmy. Jimmy is like, he's like a little upward like this. So when he's smiling, you don't see he's smiling with the eye closed, but he's a handsome guy. He's about 6'3", so he's a tall dude. So with the uniform and with the gun and the baton, he looked good. He was a handsome guy. He buff and all that. So he was in love with his wife. They got married, and his wife Tila, his wife had 2 kids already, and he married her and took her in, and they were doing good and his wife gave him a son, and exactly they look so much alike. The father and the son, they just like coconut drop from the fruit drop from the coconut tree. Exactly, you can tell that they belong together. They had that beady eat the eye when they smile, and the eyes shut. You can't even see the people. But Jimmy was quite handsome guy, very charming, very kind, very loving. So one morning, so Jimmy was loved by community because his assignment was to patrol like the toughest area, like the gang infestation, like the Calandria Drive, the Greenborough, like March Lane, like those areas where it's like gang infested. I mean, I walked there too. I walked in that neighborhood. I never got in trouble with anybody because I come in as a resource person, and they're not threatened by it. Though they know that I work closely with the police department. Thank you, all King. I'll bring you up next time again. I appreciate you. Invite you in. Thank you. So, like I said, I work longer in Stockton, California. I don't have badge. I don't have baton. I don't have guns. I don't have bulletproof vest. What I have that law enforcement do not have is the knowledge of the people, loving the people, understand the culture, understand the language. They trust me, and I trust them. I can walk at night. I don't have to fear. If the weather too hot, they will bring me an umbrella. If I'm thirsty, they will give me food. If I walk the neighborhood, I don't have to cook. When I live in Stockton, I never really have to cook. My fridge always be full. People will bring food. And my mom will say, you have to tell these people don't bring any more food. There were fish, there were vegetables, there was filled because when we do good to people want to do good. They want to give back. So my mom used to shake my hand. Said, stop. No more food. I'll just have them cook less. And then I started collecting dog, cat, fruits, plants. So my house was like, jam packed. So my mom come and say, no more dog, no more cat. So finally, I brought a few dog home, but I adopt a few and gave it to friends who need dogs and cats. So I did that. I was like, my mom, no more. My family complained too, no more. So what happened with that morning was that okay, before I go to the sad story, I'll tell you one more funny story. Okay, so Bedlow was like gang infestation also, and then I was on this one particular street that I walk in and out all the Bode Drive. Okay, so one of my friends, she has a noodle house. So the Cambodian, they have their own noodle house. They don't go to the restaurant. They rather go to garage noodle house. The I mean, someone make big pot of pho like this and sell like hot cake. People will go because it's a few dollar lesser and there's no tax and stuff like that. So they will go have the garage noodles and they meet with other people. And then you have restaurant people who pay tax, who pay the building, who pay the employee, will not even get the business going. So people were doing good. No, I'm not from America, Caprella. If you were here with me, I was telling you that I was born in Cambodia. That's why I have accent. No, it's not fake accent. I am Cambodian. I came to America when I was 17, so I was a lot older in compared to kids who were born here or who came here as a young child or age or a child, a baby. They wouldn't have the same accent I do. They would speak the American accent, which is the American accent. It's different if they're from California. So then, so one morning, I was walking. I parked my car. I was going to Noodle House because my friend said, "Come and eat," because I know a friend of mine who had the noodle house, the garage noodle house. She would feed me every day if I wanted to, but I got sick and tired eating the noodles. So one day she said, "Come over, I'll pick up some fruit." Somebody had brought fruit from the farm. They left a whole bunch over here. You need to remove the fruit from my house because too much, like persimmons and melons and watermelon, corn, whatever. People from farm, they will bring all this stuff for me. So that day I was walking, carelessness because I'm not fear of anybody. I know everybody. I know just about any gang member in town. I mean, I work with quite a few, and then all of a sudden I heard my name called. Van in, pull over. I pull over. I wasn't driving, so I was like, "What did I do wrong?" Wait a minute, that sounds familiar. So then he drove up and he was like, "Ha ha, hello, Ming," that auntie. And I jumped in the car, so we just drove in the neighborhood. So he was patrolling the area. So Officer Jimmy in assignment was to patrol in the hardcore gang infestation community. But he was loved. Thank you. Bye. Appreciate that. So, but he was loved. He was loved by so many. Okay, so he was loved so many, and he loved his job. Okay? He loved his wife and kids. So that one morning, right about 10, when he left his wife, he already checked in. He came by to see his kid. For some reason, he know to come by to see his son. So then he has a call. It's so he was the first responder. He was patrolling the area. So he was the was the only dispatcher in that morning on Calandria. This is the gang infested area. Multiple gang infestation. We have black, we have Latino, we have Mexican. The same thing. We have Latino, we have black, we have Cambodian, Vietnamese, Laos, Hmong. They all live. They all live in this huge complex because the rent is cheap. It's the cockroach infestation, and okay. So I know because I went into a lot of resident there. So Jimmy was a first responder. He got a call. He was a first responder. He went to this this family who was reported that there was boyfriend and girlfriend was fighting, so involving domestic dispute. So the girlfriend has already run out the house, crying, went off somewhere, and left her son and the alleged abused person inside the duplex. So Jimmy was first responder. He was in the area. He patrolled in the area. So he went. So he got the call. He got the report. Where to go? So he went to knock on the door. It was double door. It was a screen door and the door. So he was dispatched at the front door. You know how the police are. They're ready, right? So knock on the door. Jim take a step back. That's their protocol. When they knock on the door, they don't stand in front of the door. They stand off the way. Okay, so that's their safety protocol. But this guy, he was like very upset. Yes, so he opened the door and said, "Who's it?" So Officer Jimmy responds that this is Stockton Police. And there was pause, and then he opened his door, he yanked at it, and he looked at Jimmy. Okay, so he closed the door, he went back inside the house, and then when he came back the second time, it's where he opened fire. And he unalived my nephew. He had bulletproof vest from here, and he got struck a few times. Yeah, and just a few shot here in this area. Okay. He was down, and the neighbor called the incidents, and in fact, the idiot hold his son, because then the rest of the dispatch came after Jimmy was down, and the idiot is holding his son or his girlfriend son hostages, and because he had shot an officer, and he know that he didn't want to get arrested, so he on his way out, he took the baby and used the baby as human shield, take the baby as hostages. But then the neighbor helped apprehend, and the officer was able to shoot him, and he and Jimmy were gone about the same time, though he was still alive until he I think he died on the way to the hospital. He died in the ambulance because he losing too much blood, and the bullet hit. So yeah, hit him. I mean, it hit him in the too close to impact, and he lost too much blood, and before he got rescued, before the ambulance dispatched, so he didn't make it. And then a week later, the Stockton police released a video camp. That was horrible. I didn't want to see the video camp because the video camp was too horrific, was not something to be seen, I mean, because video camp can see that he he was like, and then you see the blood shatter. That was horrible. And I heard him say, "Shit, I'm hit. Shit, I'm hit." So he was down. So the whole community mourned, and in fact, I think I'm still mourning. I mean, even it's been 4 years, but it's so hard losing my nephew because it was like it's so hard to lose him. I lost my dad. It was not too hard because he was an older gentleman, and I took care of him for 16 years, so he was ready to go, and I let him go peacefully. But losing Jimmy was like a different emotion. The emotion ran high because he was young. He had his son. His son's only 7 months old when he lost his dad, and the community mourned, and they had huge, beautiful processions. And he was honored. He was rewarded with tomb guard or something like that, and he was rewarded at the White House for being bravely. And his name was he has his highway name. If you drove in Stockton, California, interchange Highway 4, and you see Officer Jimmy in on the highway highway post, street post. It was great. All that was not important until we lost him. So when I speak of my nephews, it's deep emotional. It's a deep emotion because because that big guy, he's I can't, that is that itty bitty eye that was so captivated. It was because he liked to eat, and I like to cook, especially this time of the year where it hit me most because this is a time where the family come together, and Jimmy would finish like the first plate before I even get my food on the plate, and then he'll come back behind me and said, "I thought you done it? Yes, I'm coming back for the second plate, Auntie." So he eat because he's a big guy. He love eating. He eats so fast, like he don't even chew, like gulp it down like a German Shepherd. So we love it. We love because he loved to eat, and that was so much memory of him. And every holiday hit me because I became melancholy because remember Jimmy every time when I carved the turkey. I remember Jim. Every time I carve the beef, I remember Jim. Every time I make pie, I remember Jim because he loves it. He loves to eat. He just loved to eat, and now he's gone. It's not the same because someone who loves to eat not there. We every time the holiday come, we serve, but then it's like a great miss. Like if Jim is here, we won't have this many left over. Just like today, my emotion run high also. Even I'm here in Las Vegas, not with family, my emotion run high because I'm depart from my family from Stockton because most of my family members and my friends are in Stockton. I'm here. I don't have a lot of friends. I have my daughters and my niece and a few of her friends here, and that's it. And then my sweetheart and two of my other kids, and that's it. I didn't make many friends here, though I have one friend that we were friends since 1980, and I met her here. So she's a sweetheart. I think that's the only person that I'm close to as a friend here. Yes, Jimmy Inn. We have the same last name, INN. Officer Jimmy Inn. It was very. I'm surprised you didn't hear about it, babe. It was like he he was like on TV news and like on every channel. In fact, one of the new anchor who did the coverage on Jimmy won the Academy Award. I even gotten to attend her Academy Award too. Okay, so I don't know why I'm talking about Jimmy in a way. I was supposed not to be overly. sensitive today. Well, because today is holiday. Today normally Timmy would eat 5 plates before anybody could, you know, sunk the teeth into a piece of meat. Miss the guy though, you know. I mean, I haven't seen, I haven't visited his. I didn't get chance to visit his grave site when I visited my when I attended my brother 100 days. So I went to my brother grave site, and because we only have a few days to operate, and by the time we get there is another day, and by the time we get back is another day, so I didn't get chance to visit his gravesite. Normally, if I visit in Stockton, I visit my Officer Jimmy gravesite, but this time I visit my own brother gravesite. So it's yeah, it just, you know, sometimes when you're so close to family member, friends, or your other significance, um, when they depart, it does not matter how many years or how long, you know, they still like linger deep embedded here. And and when certain event protrude, and that triggered, you know, like that, it triggered, and it just take a few moments to like snap out of it, you know. So as for me, same thing, you know. If I look at his, I have photo of him like a poster, and he's like, so at least he's not looking at me, you know. I have beautiful photo of him, and I and just loved him. Jim was just a great guy, and the community mourned so much, and because he lost such a great police officer, you know. He speak the language, and he in the community, everybody knew him, and his funeral was so big is that they have to, even they said that it was private funeral, but then the earth was filled with human that day. It's the drone, um, the jet flying over, the helicopter flying over and trying to get coverages, and the law enforcement from the 50 states. That's how busy it was. You know, it was such a huge gathering, and I never been to. It's almost like the funeral of the king and queen. You know, I mean, it's just the way they take care of their of their fallen soldiers or fallen officer, law enforcement, was like, you know, the community come together. They make it grander, make it important, you know. Okay. Good night, babe. Thank you for coming on here. Anyway, so just want to check in on you. I can't remember what we started a conversation with. Now I lost my thought. Anyway, so today I went over to my daughter um, for for Christmas, right? So I was gonna bring the dessert and the cheesecake. Now I don't know what to do with the cheesecake. I don't want to eat it all. And my daughter is already flew out to be with her siblings, so it's only myself and my son here, and my mom I can give to my mom, but still have a lot left over. But I don't know what to do with the cheesecake. I really don't. You guys are not here to help me eat them. It would be nice if you right here. I'm just gonna cut in pieces and then like here a bite here and bite there. You know, I still have the whole. Let's see, I'll probably give to Lucy. She loves sweet. So I refurbished this yesterday. I think a few of you were here when I did that. So this is just peel easily like this. Okay. So there was, I have the pie crust. I'm not gonna open it because I'm not eating it, because today I have apple pie earlier. Okay, so it's hardened really well. Okay, so maybe I just take to my mom, and There's still one more kid at home. My daughter took her own children to Philadelphia with her. I mean to New Jersey. So she won't be back until New Year Day. So I have these, and I'm looking for someone to eat these. I made too much. And maybe I offer to the neighbors. I make sweet, but I'm not a sweet eater person. I eat sweet, but and then still I still have these. I took a piece of it yesterday, and I was gonna take it to the party, but my daughter said, "No, mom, do not bring it because we have so many sweet." It's true it was. She has they make peach cobbler, and they bought this big apple pie from, you know who make the big apple pies. I'm not gonna mention it, and then the mother made the Filipino rice sweet. So there's like, and then cookies. They had like batch of cookies. So that's why I said no sweet. Okay, so now since you said that, I'm stuck with this sweet, and I don't know what to do. So you guys are not here. Like I said, now I need somebody to eat these things. So even I give to my mom not gonna be able to eat all this. But then I need to cut this so you guys can see it. Okay, because I still need my short for the repost, and the picture for. I still need the picture for my thumbnail. So that's why I have to do this tonight. Let me stop crying first, okay? I shouldn't have said nothing. I'll be fine. I was fine all day. Okay. Mama, this, and I have a piece already. Okay. So I cut a piece already. So you guys already know how it looked like. If you go to sleep now, you miss that. Okay. So that's my pie. My cheesecake. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut into small pieces and serve you guys, because your fault that you're not here to eat them. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and do a short clip for a short or I need a photo for my cover. Beats me. Can't find my pie cutter. I have the cake cutters. So here we go. Maybe I just keep it on here. This is pretty good though, Mama. This is cheesecake, okay? It's cheesecake. So it tastes really, really good. It's not just any pie, cheesecake. It's a delicious cheesecake. One piece for you. Two piece for me. That looking pretty? It is pretty. I have to do all this just for picture. So here we go. Okay, I still have large piece here. I think I'm gonna give this to my mom tomorrow. And then I will have to kind of convince Lucy to eat these because she loves sweet also, but the sweet have to be low sweet because I'm trying to make this low sweet. So it's not bad compared to the pie that I have earlier today. This is not sweet at all. Huh? So it looks good, tastes good, but I'm not hungry. I had pie earlier, and that's the problem right now. We have too much food that no one to eat. Next time I just get a small, there was American squash. I saw it already the other day. Can't remember what the name of it, but next time I'll do small squash. But the thing is that if I make a small one, people say, oh, we want some more. And when I make a big one, say, oh, I don't want any. So first of all, I pay for the food. I cook the food. And I don't know what their people problems are, right? If they only be nice enough that I pay the money, I put the effort, I put the time, I put the work. All you need to do is say, oh, thank you so much. The pie is so delicious. You know, that's all it takes. I do not take anything, just a little appreciation, you know. That's it. Okay. So that's all I was gonna come on. That was all I was gonna come on here to talk to you about. Okay. Padasi, nice name. Next time. Okay. I appreciate your inviting to come on here. All right. Well, it's almost 2:30. My eye is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Not only that, not only related to late officer Jimmy in with a small itty bitty eyes. It's late. When it's that late, it's harder to keep an eye open, you know, because the eye was like the first thing that you can feel that you're tired when the eye give the signal like it cannot keep open. So that's when your body said, hey, you need to go and shut down, you know, turn up the light, turn up the bed and sleep. And that's what the body trying to tell us. Okay. Anyway, all right. So that's what I'm going to do because East Coast right now is morning. And well, I need to go to sleep for a few hours before I wake up. But tomorrow is what? It's Friday. So I don't have babies. I can sleep a little bit later. Okay, maybe 9 or 10 if I don't get disturbed. Sometimes I was in my morning dreams and somebody from East Coast would text me because they're 3 hours different. I'll still be in bed, but they're having lunch. So I said, Mom, would you want some? I said, what? I'm still sleeping. I said, oh, my bad. You know, yeah, it's your bad. First of all, why bother to call me? Do I want some? And you know very well that I can't have any unless you send an image, you know, instant image. It's trying to be funny. And they were laughing. Say, hey, I just want to have fun with you. Say, oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, let me do that to you when you're in the middle of your sleep. All right, so here I am. I'm going to do a little photo of these so I can put on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so, you know, I got to show the work a little bit. Okay, so. And definitely it's so good though. If I don't move out right now, I'm going to have another piece and it'll be late. So. Oh, cheesecake. This is not just a regular cheesecake. This is the gelatin cheesecake. It's that combination. It, it's so good, okay? It just, it's just irresistibly delicious. I have one little bite and then I promise that I'll be done. That's it. I'm done. The kabocha is very good. I know my mom would like it because she likes the kabocha, the pumpkin, the squash. Okay. All right, my friends. I'll let you guys go because I need to go also. Okay, but I appreciate all of you coming on. Okay. I know that you probably hung over, some of you, if you had too much. So sleep good, okay? Feel better tomorrow. Hoping that you don't wake up with big headache. So enjoy another day off if you have another day off tomorrow. Okay, most of us have a day off. I have a day off, which is nice. Okay? But some of us have to go back to work. So this call a quit for tonight. I'll come back tomorrow and see. I have a few things that I like to cook, but I have so much left over. She sent me the fettuccinis. There's still some pie and two kind of dessert, three kind of dessert, and then a few pieces of prime ribs. Okay, so I'm trying to feed to my son and family member here and get rid of it and get rid of this. If I don't get rid of this in 2 days, it's gotta go. I'm not gonna keep it anymore. I'm tired looking at it. I don't care how good it is, but too bad, wish you guys here to help me eat all this. Okay, all right. Good night, good evening, good morning, where you at. Thank you for being here.